All right, Shalom. All praises to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, Hashem Kakadash, double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, whom teach well, who taught us this truth. This is your brother Yashimai from the JMS Atlantic Camp. This is going to be a quick video going into the fallacy of Christianity. Well, at least one of many. All right, and it's just a very basic, low-level think that you got something but you don't. Kind of like that really low-level. The definition of insanity is repeating the same thing and expecting a different result. Like, yeah, bro, that's deep. And just not saying that that's not true, but that's just a basic low-level thing. So I'm using that as a comparison because this is what Christianity thinks that they have against the Hebrew Israelites. Matthew 22, verse 39, and the second is like unto it, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. Now, Christianity would have you think that we are off because we supposedly teach a doctrine of hatred. All right? Because at the same time that Esau Edom, the self-proclaimed white man, is telling you or is actively trying to take you out, they expect you to love them. Does that make sense? I mean, the same Edomites that believe in the right to bear arms, why do they have so many weapons, by the way? Because every Christian will tell you, I believe in the Bill of Rights and Second Amendment. Why are they stacking up guns? Why? Because they know because any individual knows that you have a right to defend yourself, okay? But at the same time, they're telling you to love everyone. This man is putting chemicals in the air. This man's putting chemicals in the food. He's poisoning your family. He's turning, the female that you're with, he's turning her against you. And we are being told to love them while they do all this. At the same time, they get to stack up their guns. Don't tread on me. So let's go ahead and go, let's rip apart this stupidity. All right, so first and foremost, if we're supposed to love our neighbor, then why is it that we were told to destroy a certain nation or certain nations whenever we took the promised land? This is Deuteronomy 20, verse 17. It says, but thou shalt utterly destroy them. Matter of fact, let's go back. But of the cities of these people, which the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, thy God does give thee for an inheritance, thou shalt save alive nothing that breatheth. So hold on a minute. So the Israelites were coming into their promised land, and the Most High, this is a directive from Yahweh Hashem Yahushai to not save anything that breathes. Wow. Continuing on. Verse 17, but thou shalt utterly destroy them, namely the Hittites, the Amorites, the Canaanites, the Perizzites, the Hivites, the Jebusites, as the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahushai has commanded thee. So the Most High himself commanded the Israelites, the Hebrew Israelites, to destroy these nations. Is this loving your neighbor? The answer is no, because we're called to be separate. Okay? There has always been a separation in the scriptures. All right? Let's get, matter of fact, I got Malachi 1 and verse 4 pulled up, just to show you that there's a separation. We'll get verse 4. It says, whereas Edom says we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. All right, now this is going into when, according to Revelations 20, when the Most High put a zeal upon Esau Edom and his power was taken away, right? From 350 to roughly 1350 AD or CE in the Common Era. So for a long time, nobody paid attention to them. But it says, thus saith Yahweh Hashem Yahushai of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down. And that's exactly what they have done. They have built this place, Babylon the Great, which we are now, so-called America. But Yahweh Hashem Yahushai himself is going to tear down. Now, is Babylon the Great America not called the melting pot? Do we not have neighbors all around us? But yet here we have Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai saying he's going to tear them down. Is Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, an author of confusion? No. All things to be done in order, as Scripture says. They shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai has indignation forever. So how is it that we're called to love everyone, but at the same time, the Most High is coming back to destroy everyone? And the answer to that, well, look, let's pull up, because what is a neighbor? First, let's get the definition of neighbor. Definition. Just to do, somewhat of due diligence, it says a person living next or next door to the speaker, or person referred to, or to be situated next to or very near. Okay, so now let's get some context here. Now let's get 12 tribes, 12 tribes, biblical math. Let's get that. Because we just got the definition, which your neighbor was somebody that was living close to you, right? Now, actually, but before we get here, because the laws, the statutes, and the commandments, man, these Christians are something else, man. It's so upsetting, man. But these Christians are something else. They will tell you to follow the law. You got to follow the law. And the law tells you to love your neighbor. And excuse me while I bite into this fucking swine leg. Excuse me while I shake the hand of this non-binary fluid, whatever. Like, these Christians are. Psalms 147, verse 19. He shows his word unto Jacob, his statute and his judgment unto Israel. He has not dealt so with any nation. And as for his judgments, they have not known them. Praise ye Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. So first and foremost, the laws, the statutes, and the commandments were only given to a certain group of people, the Hebrew Israelites. Okay, so that law that was given to them, let's get the context. When that law that was given to them, now we just read in Deuteronomy, when they went into the promised land, right? They were told to obliterate everything, all right? Now, after they went into the promised land, then the lands were dispersed among the tribes. And we got the word neighbor, someone that lives next to you or someone that is within a close proximity. I bring that up because look at this. When Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai told the Israelites, right, to love thy neighbor, he told them to love each other. They were dwelling amongst each other. They were living right next to each other, which is what the definition of neighbor is. They weren't told to love everyone else. Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai himself doesn't love everyone else. Let's get 2nd Ezra, man, because it's a complete fallacy. 2nd Ezra 6, around the 50th. 2nd Ezra 6:54. And after these, Adam also, whom thou madest Lord of all thy creatures, of him come we all, and the people also whom thou hast chosen. We're all God's children. We're all. Jesus knows my heart. We're all God's children. Right? Let's skip to the point. 56. All right. As for the other people which also come of Adam, thou hast said that they are nothing, but be like unto spittle, and hast likened the abundance of them a drop that falleth from a vessel. The book of Isaiah also goes into that. He doesn't deal with these other nations. If Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai himself is telling you that he doesn't deal with the other nations, why would we then go after, try to be, try to be in league with them? Why would we try to be in league with those that are trying to destroy us? Psalm 83. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they hate thee that have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Yasharallah may be no more in remembrance. Why would we hate those that hate us? Do that for you Christians. Whenever somebody tries to break into your house, and they begin to have their way with your wife and your daughter and your son, love them. Love them while they're in the act of penetrating them, man. I hate to be so vulgar, man, but this is the stupidity that they want us to believe. And it isn't until we give these basic examples that people can grasp the idea that, wow, Christianity really is a fallacy. It is a fallacy. And that example about, the robber breaking in and having your way, having his way with your family, that actually happened to us. The transatlantic slave trade, the conquistadors, man, the Trail of Tears, man, the Indian Removal Act, man, all that. But you want us to love them, but at the same time, you're stacking up guns. Come on, man. Let's get the perfect hatred. Let's get that one. Do I not hate them? Do I not hate Psalms? It's in Psalms. Right here. Psalms 139. And 21 it says, do not I hate them, O Yahweh? Ba'ashem Yahushai, that hate thee? And am I not grieved with those that rise up against thee? I hate them with a perfect hatred. I count them mine enemies. All these people have risen up against Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Because when you come against his hidden ones, as we just read in Psalms 83, you come against Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, man. So no, we're not called to love everyone, man. We're called to love our neighbor. And really, our neighbor, on a further meaning, it goes into those that are in this truth, because Zechariah 13 verse 8 tells you that 2/3 of our people are going to be destroyed. So come on, man. Let's get Deuteronomy 7 and verse 6. It says, for thou art a holy people unto Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, thy God. The Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, thy God, has chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth. So there's a separation there, right? Learn not the ways of the heathen. Be ye separate as, be ye holy as I am holy. That word holy goes into, separate for a spiritual purpose, man. We're not called to intermingle with these people, man. Matter of fact, Israel sinned when they didn't destroy all of the nations. So no, love thy neighbor doesn't mean love everyone. Right? This is a basic rule, I don't even know the word, man, but it's some basic shit, man. All right? We are supposed to love those that are in the truth, those that know who they are, and be separate from the 2/3 that are destined to be destroyed, and even more separate from the heathen nations that have had a part in taking us down. That have taken that crafty counsel, man. So Salakia for the high-spirited voice in this video, but it's just, man, every now and then, man, it's just you come across some BS, man. And it's just, you just gotta, sometimes you just gotta, like the apostle say, sometimes you just gotta yell at a motherfucker, man, because Jake is hard-headed. Baruch 2 and 30 goes into it. For they are a stiff-necked people. Sometimes we just gotta yell at these motherfuckers. Wake up. Until the next one, shalom.